How's it? Oh, it's on. is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's much too little of, but the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last until the end of time. But the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing I believe that there's plenty of, yeah. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last until the end of time. Till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing I believe that there's plenty of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. What the world needs now is love, sweet love, yeah.
Thank you, thank you. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. LaRonda and Mark, we're so happy to have you back with us. TJ and Sean, we're thrilled that you are here. And Alan, Marcy, and Alan, thank you for being here. We have just a wonderful, wonderful group of people saying yes to the light that they are. We are so blessed. Welcome. We welcome you here this morning to Unity Spiritual Center of Portland as we gather with this underlying realization that the eternal call of the universe is for us to love. I'm Reverend Lisa Davis. We welcome you whether you're here in this space or you're watching as part of our virtual family. We know that we are all connected. We are all interconnected, and we are all a part of humanity agreeing to learn to love, agreeing to find a deeper calling, a larger path, and to knowing that that's who we are. This morning, we also hold in our prayer and our hearts all of those in Kentucky and Tennessee and the 6 states where the tornadoes went through, recognizing that we get to expand and hold in this space of love these beautiful beings, knowing that there is enough. There's enough for all of us to have that which we need, and for us to be able to reach out around us and to know that where love resides is between us. That's truly where it shows up and it vibrates and lives. And so as we hold that in our hearts, wherever you've been this week, whatever your journey has looked like, has felt like, has Whatever it is, I just invite you to move into your heart space, to not allow anything to shut down your heart, but instead to lean in and open. And let's begin this service in prayer. Mother, Father God, Infinite Spirit, this day we open. We open to that which we understand and that which we do not understand. We recognize that underneath it all is this vibrancy of life and love, the very substance of the universe, God, the infinite good, whatever name we choose to call this universal intelligence, we recognize that it is around us, it is within us, and we are those channels for this opportunity to gather in that knowing and to allow that light to move through us into our lives. We are so blessed to be here, to be open, to be willing, and we allow that love that we are, that moves through us, to encircle this globe. Every being, everywhere. We know you are whole. You are filled with that light. You are love. And we gather in this knowing, in this willingness to expand to a new level of understanding, a new level of compassion, a new level of living life. And for this opportunity, we say thank you, Infinite Spirit. And so it is. Amen. During this holiday season, and I realize this is the first service I've actually done during this 4 weeks of Advent, which is the most unusual for me during my life. And it's good. It's all good. We're learning it. We are going to light candles. Would you like to start? Advent is this idea of a preparing. I don't know about you, but when I desire to learn a new spiritual principle or experience something higher in my life, usually I wake up and say, I'm going to do it all this morning. That's all there is to it. We're going forward. I'm in love for the rest of my life. What it is a journey of preparing and allowing little bits to grow and to be. And so Advent is adding that light. The first week, we lit that light for hope. And that hope is intrinsic in our hearts, and it only depends on our trust in the universe and in the infinite presence, or it's extrinsic. And if something happens out here, I'll feel good or I'll have hope. So I'd invite you to go to the hope that is within your heart and to know that that hope lives on because we're all a part of an awakening. The second week, last week, we lit that candle for peace. And that's a peace that passes all understanding. That means I usually don't understand it. I don't know where it is, other than I know it is within me. And it's the presence of God, the presence of the infinite. And I can choose it, breathe it, allow it to move through me at any time. And so we choose peace. And today we choose love. Now, if you look at science and Pierre Teilhard de Chardin and some of these other scientists, they believe that the very makeup of the universe is the energy of love. It's the only energy there is. Love is the healing, harmonizing power of the universe. It doesn't come from a head that says, I love if or I love when. It comes from a head-heart combination that says, I am. It's the light in us, and our journey is to share it. And so as we add these lights, and thank you, Alan, for doing that, as we add these lights, and you may have some in your home, they don't have to match. They can be all different colors, shapes. They can be old. It doesn't matter. It's adding the light to our life and to our journey. And so I just invite you into this sacred journey of the season because it is our journey. And Beth is going to share what's happening.
Good morning. I love that Reverend Lisa talked about leaning into the holidays. Is everybody leaning in? Yeah, it's time to do that, isn't it? Yeah, so I want to mention, if you're part of our virtual family, and if you have not come in to pick up your bag of Christmas service goodies, we invite you to do that. We're here Monday through Thursday, 10 to 2. Come on by. We know you're going to want to take advantage of participating in all of the wonderful experiential ceremony that we're going to be having in the upcoming weeks. So this past Monday, the community outreach team came in. gathered all the gifts. They've distributed them. We're still collecting through the 26th. You have one more Sunday to bring in your goodies. I'm not going to run through all the items, but they're listed on this sheet. And if you haven't got this yet, there's some out on the table. They're also in our e-newsletter, which you all should be receiving on Thursdays. So the lists are there. I want to make mention of something else. This is what makes it really special. They're inviting you to write a note of encouragement to someone who might need it this season. And they have these little slips of paper out there. And, you know, a kind word, some encouragement can go a long way to somebody who's having a rough time. So we invite you to stop by, pick up a little piece of paper, and write a note for somebody today. So following the service is our family Christmas party. We're all going to go downstairs. We're going to enjoy some beautiful cookies. Oh my gosh, I had no idea about the bakers in this family. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it looks beautiful down there. The volunteers have got it all set up, coffee, hot chocolate. It's going to be lots of fun. And I hear there's going to be a jolly visitor who's going to join us today at the end of the service. So we're happy for that. I do want to remind you that we are still wearing masks in the building, and especially for events like this. You know the drill. Just make sure you keep the mask on when you're visiting. You can take it off to eat your cookie and drink your coffee, but then we do ask that you put it back on. So thanks in advance for that. So next Sunday is our Sweater Sunday. And I understand this isn't just for ugly sweaters. You can wear beautiful sweaters too. We are inclusive community here, so you can wear whatever sweater you want. And we welcome you to wear it proud. So yeah, that's next Sunday. We'll have some fun with that. And we've got some groups that are still going on here. Our 20s and 30s group, big successful meeting last week. They had a nice crowd. We're very excited about this. Yeah, they're gonna meet twice a month for a while. So they're gonna meet next Sunday and then a couple Sundays. So keep your eye on that newsletter for their meet times. It'll be after the service in the chapel. The men's and women's groups are gonna meet this next Saturday. Men's group meets at 9, women's group meets at 1. That's downstairs. And the women's group is gonna have a white elephant gift exchange. So if you're a part of that, make sure you bring your little gift with you to play along with that. Our new service ministry volunteer signups went out this week for the winter. So we have all of our services for January, February, first couple weeks of March. That's coming in your email under service ministry. We ask that you go in, pick your Sundays to serve, sign up, and we'll be on our way. We thank you for that. If you haven't received your Unity Advent book, A Christmas to Remember, those are out on the table. There you go, thank you. Oop, our props here, the little book. It will take you through Christmas, so it's not too late to pick it up if you don't have it yet. So make sure you get that. Tucked inside, there is a flyer of all of the upcoming services with times. So we know you'll want to take a peek at that, put that on your fridge or wherever you keep your important information. The next 2 special services coming up that we're just really thrilled about are the Christmas candlelight service. Of course, that happens on Christmas Eve. Beautiful time for all of us to be together. 6 o'clock here. And then our New Year's Eve Burning Bowl service is also at 6 p.m. on New Year's Eve, the 31st. This is, for some of you who may not know what this is a powerful spiritual ceremony where we look at what no longer serves us and we set our intention for the new year. And, we're moving into some blank pages that we get to fill. So we invite you to come and take part in that. Really special times for us to be together. And we weren't together last year for any of this. So it's extra special, and we certainly hope that you come and join us. Thanks, and have a great week.
All right, thank you, thank you. I want to take a moment and welcome any of you who are here for the first time. If you haven't been here in a long time, by the way, we welcome you, Ellen. We're really glad you're back too. But we just want to welcome all of you. And if you're willing to raise your hand, we'd just like to say hello. Anybody here for the first time or you haven't been here in a while? It's good to meet you. Yes, good, thank you. We're happy you're here. And what we know about every being and what we honor is that we honor everybody where they are in their spiritual path on this journey of life and this journey of evolving. And so if this community works for you, I would encourage you to become a part. I believe it's really important to find a place that both supports us and reminds us of the deeper dimensions of our being. Not tells us what to think or what to do, but instead just offers opportunities to remember the truth of who we are. If it doesn't work for you, I would encourage that you continue seeking and find a place that will. And the other thing is, if it doesn't work for you, my encouragement would be find out why and let us know. Because I don't believe that this is a one-person community. I believe we are creating this, and I'm so grateful for people who have stepped forward and said, I want a meditation. So there is a Buddhist meditation at 9:45 every morning. I want a women's group, and so we have a women's group. I want, it's just, I want a 20s, 30s something group. All of this happens as we create. So we're so happy to have all of you with us here and online. And if you're part of our virtual family, go online, and there's a sheet you can fill out that just puts you on our mailing list. If you're here in person, there's a green card in the backs of your chairs, or even from the welcome packet, and you can fill it out and turn it in, put it in one of the baskets, or give it to Beth or myself, and it just simply puts you in that loop of all of the different pieces. So we are grateful, and we are going to move on into, what are we doing? Our congregational song. I got it right this week. I'm getting better here. We'll learn it.
All right. We invite you to stand, please, as we sing a couple of carols this morning.
Yay.
Yes, if you are willing. We are. So I hope you are. All right. Let's sing together. Joy to the world. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him a room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs implore. Rock fields and floods, rock seals and plain. Repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. Repeat, repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. All right, beautiful. Are you willing to do one more? Yes. All right. Oh, you see it there. Hark the herald angels sing. And I believe there are New Thought lyrics that are added by Sydney, Reverend Sydney. So watch out for them, y'all. They're kind of...
I don't know if I have a microphone or not,
Okay.
but I just want to say, these songs, Christmas tells a story. It's an archetype for anyone who was born into this story. These songs, as a New Thought person, I can go through and say, there's a hymn, I don't like that. There's a this, I don't like that. What I'd invite you to do is say, what is the message to my heart? It's a message of singing, of joy, of love. And we will see what's on here. We'll find out.
Thank you, Reverend Lisa. Yes. All right. Hark the herald angels sing. I've asked the band to make it a little funky. All right. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace peace on earth and mercy mild. God's creations reconcile. Joyful all ye nations rise. Join the triumph in the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. All right, we absorb that. We rock it out a little bit. All right. Are you ready for the New Thought verse? Yes? All right, come on. Christ within, O Prince of Peace, sing your song of love's release. Light and life the Spirit brings, rising with healing in our wings. While he lays his glory by, born that men no more may die, born to raise the sons of earth, born to give them second birth. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. All right. Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you.
And just for a moment, I invite you to look around this room and recognize you are walking with that universal light, with the love, with the presence, with this energy of life. Thank you. I think we. But thank you. Thank you. You know, as we look at this Christmas of this story of Christmas, and our theme this year was a Christmas to remember. And it's not about the presents or the things, it's about what happens in our hearts. And this has been an interesting 20 months, 21 months, I think it is now. And so we're going to move into a time of meditation, but know that all of the wisdom of the universe resides within the quantum field. And that field moves in you, through you, as you. It's your DNA. It's our DNA. And so part of what we're able to do is to breathe in the truth of humanity, of life, of love, in these times of meditation.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes to see that there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, and when it seems I've lost my way, that's when I go inside and I quiet my mind, and I hear Spirit say that there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
There is only love. As we relax our bodies, continuing to quiet our minds, we let go and recognize that the infinite moves in and through and as us this day. There is only love in me. All else is an illusion. I breathe in that love. And all else falls away again and again. I am love. I am willing to let love live as me this day in the silence, in the silence. I'm willing to allow love to move freely throughout my being, my life. And I recognize that as a channel for love, I am that very love expressing into the universe. For this knowing, I feel gratitude. The gratitude of every breath, of another day to be that channel. I am so blessed, and so it is. Amen.
There is only love, love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. Thank you to the wonderful singers that joined us and this amazing band. It's really lovely. This is our first time with the band. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. All right, a wonderful song by Mr. Jamie Lula that says, "Love is my religion." Yes. I wish you peace. I wish you joy. I wish you love, 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 love. I wish you faith in yourself to reveal that all you've come here to be. Love is my choice. Yes. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Yeah. I wish you strength. I wish you courage. Wish you love, 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 love. I wish you purpose to create all your dreams and co-conspire with the light of your life. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. The answers to the questions were always deep inside you. The freedom of expression is yours to choose right now. Oh, love is my choice, and oh, love is my decision.
Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so blessed. Love is my religion, love is my life. What is this journey of our lifetime that is teaching us? Anybody feel like you have any new teachings going on right now? Any new lessons to learn right now? Any places in our life that love isn't showing up? Let's start with that one. Does anybody in here have a place? We have a few people that have a place that it doesn't feel like love. It doesn't feel like, we know where we want to be. And we understand that the journey that we're on, all of us, is that journey to get there. Now, I'm still working with the material. Right now, there's two things I'm working with. One is called The Trip to Bethlehem, and it's the metaphysical interpretation of the Christmas story. Some of you have been in Unity a long time, and you recognize that when we look at any of the wisdom texts, but when we look at the Bible, we look at what is the spiritual meaning behind this, and what does it have to do with us. So that's one thing. And the other book I'm working with is still on the teachings. It's a book on the teachings of Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. I don't fully understand this. It's by Ilia Delio. She is she was a Catholic nun. Now she's a Franciscan scientist. I don't believe she's left her, you know what, I don't know enough to talk about it. So let me tell you, I'm not even going to attempt to say what she is as far as in the Catholic Church. I know there's been some really tough times within that church, and of course Pierre Teilhard de Chardin was thrown out because of his beliefs that God could be as evolution, that the evolution of the planet could be this spiritual aspect. And as I work with this material, and this is called the unbearable wholeness of being, and this is where he says, we are wholes within a whole. And that line has not left me. You've probably heard it a lot lately. We are wholes. How many of us were raised, I am a whole? Was that idea there? This is what the evolution is. And this idea of Christmas and this journey that we're on. And by the way, the first thing we learn about Christmas, and we look at the archetypes, Carl Jung talked about this. These are the sacred stories of a people. If you're born within this Christmas story, if that was anywhere in your family, or even if it wasn't, if you're born in this country, somehow it's affected you, that means that story of a people has a message for you. It's not about literal. Literal is the lowest way you can interpret one of these sacred stories. Then there's what they call the moral or the historic value. Now, of course, knowing how history was written in this time period, which it was greatly enlarged and amplified, and truth had an interesting bend to it. We know that there is history, but it's not the type of history that you can teach in school and say this is what happened. And then there's a spiritual meaning. And Christmas is a story. And first and foremost, it's a journey. And when I realized that the story that I love so much was a journey, it's a journey of a couple, male and female. Inside of you, that's feeling and thinking. Anybody work to combine those two lately? They leave Nazareth, which Nazareth means, remember, can anything good come out of there? It was those that were shunned, those that weren't considered good enough. Anybody have any parts inside themselves? Because remember, all of these parts are in you. Anybody have any parts inside? Okay, we have two people who have parts inside of themselves. So they left Nazareth and they went to Bethlehem, which means house of the living, house where there's enough for something to live. And they left as a couple and they came back as a family. They had birthed the divine. That's our story. That's the evolution of humanity. The Christ is a universal, it means Messiah. And of course, there wasn't any room at the inn. I got a lot of places in my life where there isn't any room. Even in the house of the living. There isn't time, there isn't space, there's fear, there's other things. And so they went outside into what actually was a cave. And this being, this light was born in a manger, which is our heart. So the journey we're on is this sacred journey. And it's calling to us. And every year I go back and I move through this again. And I only sang this because this had been out of print for several decades, and they've now actually reprinted it, so you no longer have to pay $50 or $60 for a copy of it. I'm very grateful for that, because but what it taught me, I read through it and I'm like, which part do I need to pay attention to? And this year what came up was Nazareth. I was like, no, not that. Because that means the parts of me that I have just said, nope, we're not going there. Nope, I don't want that. Nope, that's not good enough. Nope, I don't. It's the stuff that we push away, or that we don't love, or that we don't allow to live. And so I just invite you to begin saying, where is my Christmas journey? Where is my life? What is it that the universe is asking me to do? And I put this donkey out here. I couldn't find room over there. If you don't remember, and many of you who have been here for years know that I always talk about the donkey. Well, last year, Bill bought me a donkey. And I have to tell you, it's been out all Christmas. It's so heavy, my dog can't even get it, which is really good, because he's taken just about everything else off of every table. This one he just gave up, and I heard this clunk, and I thought, what is that? And the donkey was just laying there. So he's given up, so the donkey's safe. He's doing good. The rest of them we're having some difficulties with. I keep finding things hanging out of his mouth, and they're unfortunately parts of things. So most everything is up, and that's anybody have a Christmas like that so far? I mean, sometimes that's where we feel that journey is. Remember, Mary, first of all, she came in, by the way, none of this is written down. Unfortunately, I wrote a really nice message on love. This is what's coming out. But I just want us to think, right now you have a Mary. Every one of us here has a Mary. And that Mary is the part that is open to feeling. And what happens? We get this message, honey, you're with child. I'm single. They kill people like that. This is not me. And of course, what does she say? Wait a minute, God, this can't be me. This isn't right. I'm not doing this. And then she gradually gets to the place of, okay, God, let it be unto your word. Let it be unto your way. We find a place in us where that happens. And then Joseph, the thinking, and I know we all got our thinking, it says, well, I'm just going to quietly put that aside and pretend it's not here. And of course, he finds that instead he gets to go and support that which he could never support. But he finds inside there's a deeper path and a deeper meaning. And so these two come together and they travel. First of all, I want to say for the first 3 months, or I don't remember how long, actually, we're testing my memory since I haven't read it, that part of it recently, but I think it was 3 months. Mary went to stay with Elizabeth in a hill town in Judah. Now, in Hebrew, the name Judah means praise or prayer. Hills are high places. If we're going to make the journey to Bethlehem, it's usually we got to start somewhere, and I would suggest starting with prayer and praise. And that means, thank you, God, I have enough to walk this journey. Thank you, God, for a deeper understanding for that which I do not know. Thank you, God, for the ability to be a part of something larger, even when it isn't how I thought it should be. I know Mary grew up as every little girl in that area being told, you will marry, you will have a child, and it was a certain order, and it didn't go in the order or the way that she wanted, and she didn't know if she'd live. The fear of death in there that was in that culture, to her at that time in that story, our ego has to die. There's a part of it, it's like a death that has to happen for us to step into something more. And so when there's parts of us that says, not me, I'm not paying attention to this, I'm not doing this, I just invite you to let you know that at some point you're probably going to say, okay, God, I'll visit this again. But she goes and sees Elizabeth, and then she takes the donkey. And as many of you know, donkeys are untrainable. You cannot make them do what you want. They are not reliable, and they usually don't go in the direction you want them to. All you have to do is go to a rodeo and watch the donkey racing. And very few of them end up at the other end, but they have traveled all over the place. So just remember, the trip to the house of the living is taken on a donkey. And I would just invite you then to open your heart and to say, wait a minute, there's a part of me, there's a Mary in me that says, right now, I have all that I need. And if I will take one step with an open heart and allow my mind to support me, are you safe in the corridors of your mind? But to focus our mind on simply trust. Trust the journey, trust universe, trust this process of life. It will take me where I need to go. Now, I often try to do that all in one fell swoop. We leave here on Sunday mornings, I am going to love the rest of my life. That's just what we do. And then something shows up. This morning, every time I turned around, my dog had there's an extra collar that my daughter brought, and she won't let us get rid of. He's not wearing it right now. But what he does is he gets it out of wherever it is, and he acts like he's chewing it. It's not chewed up. He just gets it, drops it in front of me, and sits there with it in his mouth. Or it's like it's right there. So I put it away 3 times this morning. And do you know what? He found it every time. He got it off the kitchen counter. He got it off of, I don't remember where I put it on the dryer. He got up and got it off the dryer. He got it off. I'm just like, what is going on? Love happens, and this is brain science. They say the easiest way to add our love is in micro moments. Because our brains don't usually just say, oh, good, we're done with fear and worry. Let's just walk over here. Instead, we use the strength of our mind to begin saying, this is mine to do. And we love in little moments. And when we can love in a micro moment, It actually shifts our brain away from the thought, there isn't enough, I don't have this isn't happening, wait a minute, what about this? What are we going to do about this? What about this vote? What about this? It moves us into another place. And love is the underlying energy of the universe. Love is the wholeness of this life we live in. Now, what that means in a quantum field is that it's a hologram. It has all of the pieces of the universe within it. And I know that's kind of a funky thing of, oh, wait a minute, can we really prove this? Do we really know this? I just want us to think about that. If we're wholes within a whole, that wholeness is contained within an energy. And that energy is love. It's not conditional love. It's not something that we may even understand. But my journey right now, and especially during Christmas, because we can get really stressed during Christmas. And for most of us, I believe we have to recreate what Christmas means to us. We have to stop the old Christmas machine, or not even start it if we haven't started it. And we have to find what Christmas in a heart, in humanity, in our being looks like. Because I can guarantee you your Christmas looks different right now. One of the things I'm still trying to learn is that Pierre Teilhard de Chardin says that love is what happens in union. It happens between two. It happens between three. It happens between four. It's in the connections of the beings. Which means when we thought, I don't need anybody else's help. I can do this all myself. Sometimes we say, I'm so messed up I can't handle anybody else's help. But the truth is, the way we're going to move through this is by allowing the love that we are to come together with another being. It can be for a moment, and it can just be, I see you. You're a whole. It can be getting to know a neighbor. It can be getting to know someone that you've been trained isn't enough, that you've been told they're not valuable enough, they're not this enough, they're not that enough. I don't know fully what that means. I'm still allowing this understanding. But in science, this energy happens in connection. When Jesus said where two or more are gathered, and he said in my name, what that actually meant was in my nature. The word would be nature. Where two or more, because in the Hebrew, in Aramaic, in that time, every name and every city meant a quality. Where two or more are gathered in my nature, there I am in the midst of you. That meant there is this universal divine pattern. And it happens when we have the courage to come together. So I would just invite you to move into this Christmas season. I personally believe if we have running water and we have food, we are too blessed to be stressed. We are too blessed to move through a holiday and think there isn't enough of anything. So if we have that, we can begin. If you don't, come to me and we'll work with you. But if you do, then we get to begin again and say, somehow, I was born in this world that told me I was less than whole, and that told me this, and that somehow I had to worship this, and I would, all these different stories. The truth is, all of humanity, we are whole. We have what we need for this moment, even if it's something we don't like again and again and again. But we can stand there. We can be willing to take a journey. We can identify the donkey. And I'd invite you to open your heart to the donkey. It doesn't mean we have to live within that situation. Sometimes we just upgrade. I can guarantee you, if you upgrade and you walk away from that situation, you'll probably get a nicer donkey. But you still got the donkey. So whether, if everything works out here, just know we live in an evolutionary universe. But we came as creations of love. That's who you are. It doesn't matter if we believe it now or we believe it on our deathbed. We are love. And I think the trip would be a little easier if every one of us said, today, I believe I'm whole. I believe I'm a channel for the love that is present. And I believe my job this lifetime is to love myself and to love those around me and to see the wholeness that's present. Thank you. During December, we're in the middle of our Christmas challenge. And that Christmas challenge is just inviting all of us to be a part of making a special gift to this community. Our greatest desire is to continue moving forward. We've actually been a community for, I go back and forth, it's either 94 or 95 years, depending on which date you choose. But we have had this opportunity to be a part of, actually, I think it's more like 96 or 97. Anyway, somehow numbers are not sticking with me right now. But we have this opportunity together to be a part of a community and to really anchor what's important to us. So I invite you, whether you choose to do it now or you do it later on this month, or I think it goes till January 15th, and we're going to need the slide down, Leah, so that we can get that where we give. But I just invite you to be a part of it. It's important to me. I don't know how to move through life. You know, during part of this Christmas challenge is just hearing people's stories. I don't know how to move through life without these teachings. The greatest gift I believe I was given as a child was to have someone say, "You're whole. There is one presence and one power, God, not a God up in the sky, but a God that was within every being, and that we're here to live as love." Truly, I am eternally grateful for these teachings. My daughter's 20 now, and she said, "I've learned it all. I don't need to be here." And I just say, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Well, you're going to have to do something. You have to be serving somewhere, so it can be here." She goes, "Fine, I'll help Barbara downstairs. I'm not coming up with you guys." And so I said, "Okay." You know, I said, "If it ever comes to the point where you haven't learned it all, why don't we talk and we can see where we're going?" Because I think life just continues. It doesn't matter if you're 20, you're 70, or you're 90. It says, how can we grow? But I am eternally grateful for these teachings and a place to come where I can sit in a space that has had these ideas in them. When I moved here, my husband had passed away. He chose death by suicide, as many of you know, and I decided I was done with ministry for my life. I had a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. I bought a house I'd never seen. I moved to a place that I had actually not ever been. My family, my sister had moved here, and my mother was moving here. And I came, and we looked for churches that had a youth program because my daughters needed that. I came in the sanctuary, and I cried the whole time. I just sat there and cried because I was in a place that reminded me of who I was and that I was large enough to take it through. And so I would just invite you as you're moving through this to know that sitting in that energy, I felt like the walls were talking to me. Now, I had never felt that before, but that's what I felt. And when people came back the first time, I did the same thing. I just cried when we filled this space again, and I realized it's us. It's the combination of humanity together. So I will stop talking about that. It is time for our offering. And there are different ways to give. You can click, you can go on our website, and there's ways to give. You can text Unity of Portland. There is a phone number now instead of that nice little number, 833-814-3477. You can send in a check. There's baskets back by the door. It's just an opportunity to say, this is important to me. So we're going to say our blessing. And again, when we affirm something and put it in our mind and in our heart, we move our being in that direction, and we tell, quantum physics says, the belief of the observer puts into motion the actions that happen. So when we say divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, we tell the universe where we're going. So let's say that together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Thank you, God.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. One more time. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. My decision right here, right now.
Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, and I know we have someone coming in. Is that the next? I believe. I have to tell you, I'm waiting for this. All right, we actually get to sing our kids in today, I believe. So the kids that are here, we get to sing them in. So we create an energy field of love into which these whole beings walk. We see them as that wholeness, that light, that love. Okay, we are going to sing our kids in.
Sing Jingle Bells.
All right.
Bells,
Jingle bells, jingle.
jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Woo, woo, woo.
These are our beautiful beings of wholeness. Thank you for being here. All of our youth that are present today, we're so grateful. And I have heard that we have a special visitor coming in. Okay. Hey. Yes. All right, our beautiful, beautiful opportunity to say yes. By the way, Santa's going to stay in here for a little bit, and the kids, is this correct? I'm doing it right? Okay, Santa's going to stay in here for a little bit. If any of you adults want pictures with Santa, we heard that was such a big thing a couple years ago, so you can get your picture with Santa. The kids we're going to sing them out, and they're going to go downstairs so parents can pick them up, and then Santa will be downstairs if you guys want to see him, okay? Mm-hmm. All right, and we invite all of you to join us for our Christmas party, a time to just celebrate. It's downstairs. There is a huge air filter. The back door is open. We have plenty of space and movement. Our chaplains are here to pray with you. So they hold that space for you. And we're going to stand and sing, "Let There Be Peace on Earth and Let It Begin With Me." Remember, this is the opening of a heart. We are so blessed. We are going to close with our unity prayer. We are so grateful to have you with us. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. We are so blessed. Have a love-filled week.